lie, recording this episode has been a challenge, to say the very least. Just between my new equipment, trying to figure that out, and my toddler, who has just been so clingy. Like, I feel like ever since I wanted to record another episode, she's been clingy. I mean, all day yesterday, I tried to record one. I did record an episode, didn't like how it turned out because I was just so distracted. My toddler was being so clingy. And the lighting just was not there. I'm hoping that the lighting is at least better than the last videos. Bear with me. I'm still learning. But yeah, we're here. We made it. And I hope that I can get through a good part of this episode before being clinged to again. Y'all, I listen to this. I got up early today. Well, that was my plan. Oh, I dropped my crystal. My plan all week, actually for weeks now, has been to get up before my daughter so that I can get some quiet time in, because I've talked about this before. I always feel like I'm more patient and a better mother throughout the day if I wake up early, and if I wake up specifically before my daughter especially. It just allows me to have that time to charge up, have my quiet time before I start the chaotic day that is being a mom. But I swear, I either struggle so hard to get up where I just don't get up and I end up sleeping in, or on the days that I actually do get up, as soon as my legs step off the mattress and my feet hit the floor, my daughter wakes up. It is like she has a sixth sense for when mommy's awake. Because I swear, even on the days I can get myself out of bed before her, she's right out of bed herself. And so we're just starting an earlier morning. My shift just starts earlier. I clock in earlier. I don't understand. It's been like that for as long as I can remember. It's rare that I will get time in the morning if I do wake up before her, because she just knows, she somehow senses that I'm awake and has to be awake with me. So, and if you haven't guessed already, that is exactly what happened this morning. I had my whole day planned out. I was gonna get up early and set up my recording stuff, and as soon as she got up, I was gonna get her settled and then sneak away, work for a little bit, record. I literally have it all planned out, hour by hour. Couldn't even succeed at the first hour. My girl woke up at like 6 a.m., which she usually wakes up around like 6:30, 6:45, 7 on good days. My plan was to get up right at 6, okay? Have 30 minutes at least to myself. But lo and behold, my daughter's walking in at 6 in the morning going, "Hey, I'm awake." And she did wake up last night. She woke me up last night for her pacifier. So I also lost a chunk from last night, and I'm sure she did too. So I just don't understand where the waking up early had to come in today. Why it had to come in today. But anyways, I'm here now and I'm hoping I can stay for a little bit. But hello. Welcome, mamas or non-mamas. I hope you are having a good day, good week, good month, relatively good life. Well, I hope you have a great life, but I know that life isn't always great, so that's why I say relatively. If you are a mother, what has been your latest joy in motherhood? What has been your latest enjoyment? Also, can you see my pimple right there? I'm hoping the light washes it out. I have been breaking out so bad, but only under my bangs. That's really the only place I break out now, unless I'm on my period, and then that's where my breakouts like to make their appearance, on my chin and on my nose. But yeah, my forehead is breaking out so bad right now. Sometimes that happens with bangs, but I don't know. This one just got out of my control. Usually I can control the few breakouts that I get from like greasy hair days, but this one just got out of hand. I'm still dealing with it. Anyways, getting off track. What is your latest joy in motherhood? Mine has been just that my daughter's been relatively chill. I say that now, and then like last night she literally had one of the biggest meltdowns she's had in the longest time. But I didn't really have to handle it. I let my husband handle that one. Kind of just stood on the sidelines and didn't really brushed right over me. Didn't really have to deal with that one. So that was great. But yeah, my daughter's just been pretty chill lately. Pretty content with just going back and forth between playing, chilling on the couch, going outside, running errands. Same old, still good. So really can't complain in that area. Now, what is your latest struggle in motherhood? Now that we've touched on the positive, let's get to the juicy stuff. What is your latest struggle? I want to know. I want to know your joys and your struggles, because I'm about to share mine, and I hope I'm not alone in it. But my latest struggle as a mom is something that I have felt a lot of guilt and shame over. And it's hard for me to even admit and to talk about. But that's what this is for. So I find it very, very hard to play with my child, to interact and have imaginative hand-on-hand play. I used to be really playful with her when she was like a really, really little baby. It was really easy to play with her. I found playing with the 0 to 1 age range pretty fun and easy. But the 2 age range has been difficult for me. And I think a lot of it stems from just like wanting to play and interact with my daughter, but she has this like toddler tone to it. So she gets very bossy and she starts to whine over any small thing that I do that she doesn't like or that isn't right necessarily, to her standards. And I guess before having a kid, it was really easy for me to play with other kids her age, like toddler age, because I feel like kids are actually more inclined to play with people who are like kind of strangers to them more openly, rather than like a parent or a sibling where they're gonna feel comfortable enough to like boss them around and kind of do it their way. So it's just a it's like a really different dynamic playing with your own kid versus playing with someone else's, because there's a different expectation there. And I want her to feel like she's in control of her like playtime, because it's her time to have fun. But it makes it really hard for me to enjoy it, because I just get overwhelmed with like anxiety because I'm worried about saying the wrong thing and setting her off, or doing the wrong thing and setting her off. And I also just get really frustrated when she gets mad at me for like little things, like just trying to play with her and have fun with her, and she just gets mad at me and screams at me. Like, it's not fun to play like that, at least in my opinion. So like now the playtime isn't as fun for me, and it's a little bit more anxiety inducing. And when she wants to play, it's really hard for me to do anything but just like be there, be present, and just like kind of move the toys around, and just like sit and watch. Like that's really, I've gotten in a bad habit of just like being quiet, sitting and watching, because I'm just like very, I don't know how to play with her, or at least I don't know how to enjoy playing with her in a way that we both can enjoy, like I don't know. It's really weird, because I never had that issue when I worked with kids, because I worked with kids a lot before I had my own kid. I loved working with kids. Kind of, I had a love-hate relationship, but working with other kids and playing with other kids, I feel like was a lot easier just because of that stranger dynamic. Like they're way more open to kind of do whatever, versus like being in the comfort of their own play space and having that control and wanting that control, which I totally get. I just don't know how to deal with it. Like, I don't know how to react to it. And so it's really difficult for me to find enjoyment in at playtime, and I feel terrible because I feel like she's just playing by herself and having to do like just be by herself all the time. And I also just like feel like I don't want her to hold it against me in the future that I never played with her, or that I wasn't a playful person. But even though I don't find the playtime right now to be super enjoyable for me, enjoyable? Yeah, that's a word, right? Even though I don't find that time to be super entertaining right now, I really really enjoy being a nurturer to her, and I'm really motivated to care for her, you know? I love making her food. I love changing her, brushing her hair, bathing her. I love cuddling her, hugging her, dancing with her. Like, I love those things. It's just the hand-on-hand imaginative play that I don't find so much enjoyment in. And I've actually seen recently that this is kind of a common thing. I've seen on social media lately some moms talking about how they also struggle with playing with their kids, and apparently, and I think this has been studied, so I think it's a fact, but don't quote me on it, you know, because I think I know a lot, but I also don't know anything about anything. So apparently the dads get a dopamine hit, a serotonin hit when they are being playful with their child, and it makes them really happy, which I feel like is why dads are so good at playing with the kids. And the moms don't get that dopamine hit from playing. They get it from being the nurturer and being the comforter and cuddling their child or comforting their child. So I stand by that. I feel like that is fact, because I feel that innately. I don't know what it is. It's just a lot more enjoyable for me to be there as a comfort to my child and as someone to nurture rather than as someone to be super playful. But with that being said, it doesn't mean I don't want to be playful with my child, and I don't still want to improve that part of myself, because I do have a lot of guilt around it. Like I said, I don't want her to grow up remembering me as never being playful, never having fun with her, and never interacting with her in that way. That's not what I want, and I want to do better. So if any of y'all have advice on how to enjoy playtime more with your kids, how are you playful in ways that both your kid and you enjoy? Yeah, I feel like I'm lacking in that area, and that's something that I'm struggling with, and I literally get crippling guilt from it every single day. It's a part of my just chain link of thoughts throughout the day, my chain link of anxious thoughts that I just have shroop, 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 just linking themselves together too every single day. Just round and around, anxious thoughts go, and I can't seem to stop it. It's not even anxiety really. It's just burden and I don't know, guilt. What's another word for guilt? Self-awareness? I don't know. Just that's part of my burdens and my worries and all of the above. So I would love some advice on that if you have any, because I truly want to get better. I want to do better. I want to be more playful. And as much as I know that I'm good at being the nurturer to my child, I want to also feel confident in being good at being playful with her and having fun with her. I want to have fun with her. It's just, it doesn't come easy to me. And that's just so surprising because I was not expecting that. I honestly thought I would be really good at it, but it turns out I'm not very good at it as an actual mother. And that's very surprising. So, do you like my Dr. Phil mug? Isn't it cute? I got it from the man himself, the Phil, which I'll do a story time on probably in a future episode. I kind of want to wait. Oh my God, I just choked. I kind of want to wait on that story time. So to be discussed, TBD. And also along with like being a stay-at-home mom, you know, you're not going to spend the whole day playing. At least that's not what I want to spend my time doing. I also want to focus some of my time on actually working on my creative projects and work on building a career for myself and building success for myself. And I have a lot of different projects that I'm working on to sort of achieve that, or at least I'm hoping to achieve that someday for myself. And so and I have to find time in my day to also fulfill my needs and also kind of use it as a work day along with the job of motherhood. I want to build success for myself in other ways. And so it's all kind of like I've just been trying to balance work and mom life and household duties. It's a balancing act, and I'm still learning, especially since I don't really have like a set schedule. Don't really know like where these hobbies are going, but I consider it work. I consider it putting time into these things, and I want to find time for that in my day, along with finding time to be playful with my daughter and to also clean and cook. And it's a lot. It's a lot, but it's still early. It's why I got up early today, and it's why I'm gonna start getting up early every day. Well, not every day, but I'm gonna try. I'm gonna try to get up at least Monday through Thursday pretty early so I can get my work done earlier, and that way I'm not just doing it in bits and pieces throughout the day. When I work on things in bits and pieces throughout the day, I just feel very discombobulated at the end of the day. I feel like I got nothing done and that nothing happened because I'm just like bouncing around from thing to thing. I need more of a set schedule. I feel like to just be more productive and be more motivated. I don't know. Or to just feel more productive, I guess. That is something that I have been working on. Okay. And y'all, it's hard. And for those of you mamas that work from home, like how do you balance? I feel like it just feels like you're bouncing from thing to thing all day, and you like at the end of the day you're like, what did I even do? I was just that's just how it feels. Does it feel like that for you? And I don't even like work a remote job. I'm working on projects that I'm hoping could be successful, but they're really just hobbies at this point. So it's like I'm trying to find time for my hobbies and find time for my mom job. And then I also work part-time on the weekends, but to me, that's just a break. That's just fun time. I like my job. Okay, let's move on to some fun stuff. Let's move on to some juice, some spice. Oh my gosh. So I was on TikTok, of course. I need to get off TikTok, honestly. But I was on TikTok, came across a video that talked about maladaptive daydreaming, and I didn't even realize that this was a real thing. Like, I mean, I've experienced it, so I know it's a thing, but I didn't know that it had a term. And apparently it's like a sign of mental illness, which, it's fine. I have like a melting pot of mental illnesses in my head. Hang on, I need to redo my hair. But yeah, I always say I have a melting pot of illnesses anyway, so I don't really care if it's crazy because I know I'm not the only one that does it. If you don't know what it is, it's basically just daydreaming, where you are in control of the dream. Like you go into your head and start the dream and like dictate it like a movie, and you do that like during the day to like kind of escape your external reality and not live your reality. And that is so freaking relatable. Like, call me crazy, but I do that all the time. I actually have been struggling with that lately by doing it too much and not being like, I think I talked about this, like I hinted at it in my last episode, but where like I feel like I'm not here, like my mind is elsewhere and my mind is just constantly like going. And if it's not anxious chaos, it's daydreaming of some sort, and it's usually like just to distract me from my physical reality so that I can stay hopeful and happy. Like I'll daydream about like my future. I'll daydream about like memories sometimes. I'll daydream about literally like sitting in a field. Okay, so I have this one daydream that's more of like a meditation, but I'll do it when I'm trying to like calm myself. or just like escape the situation that I'm in. Like if my daughter's being extra whiny, or if I just want to be left alone, but I can't, I'll sometimes just like go into my head and go to the same place, which is always this vast body of water. I feel like it's a lake, and it's in the middle of all of these beautiful hills and mountains, like these green hills and mountains. And I'm just in the middle of this lake floating, just with my eyes closed and just floating, and that's it. And I hear like a ballad of music. Is that weird? Am I weird? I feel like that's normal, and I do that to like feel a sense of calm. Like that's my meditative happy place. And then I feel like we all maladaptive daydream about like romance kind of sensual scenarios, so I'll do that. But yeah, is that crazy? I feel like it's crazy, and people, yeah, I mean, I'm not ashamed to admit that I'm a little okay. But yeah, I had no idea that it actually had a term. I thought it was just called like daydreaming. And also, did you know that maladaptive daydreaming is also a way to manifest? If you didn't know, that's actually one of the fastest way to manifest is in a very sleepy state to maladaptive daydream, like before you go to bed or when you wake up in the morning, or like a meditative state, to daydream your like desires, what you want out of life. And you can imagine it for yourself and kind of tap into those emotions and that energy that you would feel in that situation that you're daydreaming about and desiring. And then it can manifest in your actual reality because you're focusing your energy on that thing. It sounds woo-woo, and it is, but I swear it's one of the fastest way to manifest is to maladaptive daydream. And so that's why I do it so much about my future. Now, you can do it too much, and that has been my issue. You can focus in on things too much, and it'll actually block your manifestations from coming in and the things that you want, by focusing too much in on it as like a wanting energy. You don't want to have a wanting energy or a begging energy. You want to have a fulfilled energy in it. Not so much like I need this, but like that would be cool if I had that kind of energy, you know? So if you do it too much, it can actually block you from those desires and those manifestations. But anyway, I just thought that it's crazy that it's a term and it's actually considered, I guess I don't know if it's fact that it's considered a mental illness. I think it's very normal to daydream, but you can hear my trash man outside the window right now probably. All right, Mr. Truck, we'll wait for you. Mr. Trash Truck. Do your kids like Trash Truck? My girl was into it for a good minute. They only have like 2-3 seasons, and their episodes are pretty short, so they need to make more seasons. That's a good show, and it's considered a low stimulating show, so it's not gonna stimulate them too much. I don't know. I don't know the science behind it, okay, but it's a low stimulating show, whatever the fuck that means. But anyway, so apparently I'm crazy because I maladaptive daydream. But if you do too, let me know if you're crazy too. We can be in the psych ward together. But nah, it's not that crazy. I feel like it's totally normal. So I don't know why all you normal people think that it's weird. We're the normal ones. But yeah, if you haven't tried maladaptive daydreaming though for manifesting, and if you don't believe in manifestation, you know, to each their own, fair. But I suggest that you try it with small things and then just be shown the proof that it really does work. I remember the first time I manifested something and I was shooketh, and I manifested it through maladaptive daydreaming, and I'm ashamed to say that it was a boy that I freaking manifested. Like, come on. But I was like 17, okay, 17. I don't think I was 18 yet, so I was still a child, okay? So obviously as a horny teenager I'm gonna manifest a boy, but I did. He was my biggest crush. My senior year of high school, he was my biggest crush. I was obsessed with this man. I used to call him Mystery boy, number one. Did y'all ever have like nicknames for like the guys that you would talk about or the people that you would talk about in school to your friends, like have nicknames so you could just like talk about them while they were like right by you and they would never know, you know? We did that a lot. I did that with one of my friends and I called him Mystery Boy, but I also had a nickname for him. It was an actor who he reminded me of. What was his name? Nick Robinson? Is that who it is? Nick Robinson? It's that guy from Jurassic World, which is a great movie. Jurassic World, good movie. That came out in 2015. Bro, ain't no way that came out so long ago. That was like almost a decade ago. Oh my God. Yeah, it is Nick Robinson. I was right. Yeah, I started calling him that because he literally looks so much like Nick Robinson, and I love that man. I think he's so fine. Nick Robinson, not the crush. I mean, the crush too, but like, you know, I was a teenager. Old news. But yeah, I remember I came across this video about manifestation and I was like, I am gonna try that. And so I tried it on Nick Robinson and we ended up not getting together. We never dated, but we canoodled a little bit for sure. It was terrible. It went terrible. Like when I actually got him, you know, terrible experience. He was not very good, if you know what I mean. But it was just so satisfying because I had wanted it. You know, when you would want a crush so bad, you got a crush, you just want them so bad. And so it's very satisfying when you actually obtain them, you know, especially when you didn't think you were actually like ever going to be able to. So yeah, y'all, he was French and Hispanic mixed. He was French and Hispanic. He could speak Spanish to me and he could speak French to me. You can understand why I had a little bit of a crush on him, okay? But, you know, culture, I guess, doesn't speak for skills, if you know what I mean. Okay. But anyway, I think that's all I'm going to talk about. I feel like I've been rambling for a little bit, but I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. I actually really like this episode, so I hope the lighting looks good because I don't want to have to refilm this. I mean, I've put out trash quality content in the past, so hopefully I can just get better at it as we go on. I'm not the best and I'm sorry if it looks terrible. I'm sorry if my videos are poor quality, but I'm doing this for the fun of it and for the good conversation and the good topics that we're bringing to light. So I hope that if you watched or if you listened, you enjoyed. Follow me on my socials. I'll have them all linked down below. If you want to listen to this podcast on audio format, you can follow my Spotify at Loving Motherhood. Also, I need to plug my book. I gotta plug my book, y'all. It's not out yet, but I swear it is coming, and you can get little sneak peeks of it on my TikTok. So go to my TikTok, check out my book content, and get excited for it because I'm excited for it and I'm working really hard on it. So I would love the support. Anyway, but yeah, thank you so much for watching. I had a lot of fun talking to you and I hope you had a lot of fun listening, and I am looking forward to talking to you in my next episode. Peace. Bye.